Welcome to episode 33. This is about meeting Norbert Auerbach, the man who created the Cannes Film Festival, and doing business with him. Very interesting. If you're looking at a short, be sure to click on the link below. What happened was I built a film studio in Houston, Texas. It's called Houston Studios, and RoboCop filmed there. And I got into discussions with Norbert Auerbach. And Norbert Auerbach was in charge of distributing films for Hollywood to all of the European countries. And he was having a lot of problems because of different languages, etc., etc. And the only film festival in Europe was called the Venice Film Festival, which was in Venice, Italy. So Norbert came up with the idea of creating an American film festival in Europe and unifying the distribution business, and he created the Cannes Film Festival. So that was Norbert's deal. And I got involved with Norbert because I had Houston Studios. I built it with a friend of mine who's in the construction business, and he owned old factory warehouses in downtown Houston, and RoboCop used it in their second film. So it was a great studio. It was brand new. And we of course wanted films for the studio to shoot in, and Norbert was in control of a lot of Hollywood films. So Norbert came to us and we started talking, and I met him in New York, and he said, look, I've got all these European films, a lot of Italian films, and even had the daughter of an Italian film director, I forget her name, and so we were going to do a deal, and the deal was going to be that Norbert would do his films in Houston Studios, and that would be what we're going to do, basically. And my friend in the real estate business owned all of the property around Houston Studios, so we were going to actually build a real film studio, a lot. In other words, with office buildings for construction, for making films and all of that. And so we were going to do a deal. And so I sat down with Norbert and them, and we almost did it, but what happened is the government of let's see, how did it work? Yeah, the government of the state of North Carolina wanted to attract films to North Carolina, and so it offered Norbert cash, money, right? And of course, Hollywood people, they love money, right? So Norbert did the deal in North Carolina. And the thing didn't work, it disappeared. That's why we've never heard of it. So it was a stupid deal, but Norbert got some money, and that's what he was looking for. And then the next guy that came to me about Houston Studios was Chris Carter, the guy who created the X-Files. And so I sat down and talked with him, and it was the same conversation. He wanted money, of course, naturally, to do the X-Files. And the Canadian government heard about what we were going to do and jumped in and said, no, look, the Canadian government, we will give you money, Chris, to make X-Files if you make it in Vancouver and you do not use it, you do not make it in Houston Studios. So two deals that were almost there didn't go through. And of course, the state of Texas did nothing to help us. I'm from Houston. I was born in Texas. And Texans are famous for having a lot of money from oil, but they know how to spend it. I'm not sure they know how to invest it. So what happened was nothing, basically. We had a Houston Film Commission, and it did nothing to help us. And then the other problem I had is that all the people I was dealing with, they went Hollywood on me. Norbert introduced the guy who was organizing our film distribution company to movie stars, and he got distracted, and then what else happened? The next thing that happened was the real estate guy decided he was a film mogul and going to make films, and so I basically at this point I just walked away. Fortunately, they never formed a corporation, which they said they would do, so I didn't have stock. And I also did not want to become a partner in any deal where I had liabilities. So I just got out of the whole deal. But it was kind of fun because I met Norbert and I heard how Cannes Film Festival was put together. And it's all business. It's all about money. It's about selling Hollywood films to Europe. It's not interesting. Cannes is just a place where you do business. The places that are interesting are Antibes and Monaco, or Monte Carlo, where the yachts are. And Antibes has the private boats, So, so anyway, that's the film business, never dull. And so that's my story about how I met the guy that put together the Cannes Film Festival, and what the Cannes Film Festival really is. It is just about selling Hollywood films into the European market. That's all it is. So it's BS is what it is. But it works. Hollywood made a good deal, and they're making money this way. But the Cannes Film Festival is not that interesting. You go, and there's a lot of glamour for television, but when you're actually there physically, it's just a hall where you do business. And they have other conferences there, like Microsoft has its annual meetings there sometimes. They don't call it the Cannes Film Festival, they call it something else. But Microsoft, of course, being the way it is, it's a cheap company. It puts people in the basement when they have their meetings. They don't let them stay in the big hall, which the Cannes Film Festival uses. Anyway, so that's the story of the Cannes Film Festival. I thought you might like that. Anyway, this is episode 33, as I said, and please, if you like these stories, make sure to click on the like button. Also, subscribe. You can subscribe for free. All it does is it notifies you when I make a new post. You can also support this channel by going to buy me. I was going to say buy me a coffee, but not anymore. Today it's beer. As you can see, I've got a beer in front of me. And why it's a beer today is because I'm going to go across the hall, across the street here, and dance tango in the park. And so I want a beer before I go. I don't really want a coffee. So buy me a beer today, and you do it by going to Buy Me a Coffee, which puts money directly in my bank account. You go to buymeacoffee.com/Derek, DerikRawsor, and that will take you to Buy Me a Coffee, and it has an option to buy a beer also. So you could buy me a coffee for €5, or dollars, and you could buy me a beer for $5. So that's what that is about. My sponsor for this is SONOSTICS, and they have a link below. You can click on it, and they're a good sponsor. I'm interested in them because they've got the most important thing, according to Peter Zion, who posts a lot on social media. He says that if we could keep people over 65 from getting cognitive decline, in other words, on their way to brain, like Joe Biden, basically, that we could get another 70 million workers. In other words, older people could work longer and they could retire later, and the economy would do much better if we could reduce cognitive decline. And SONOSTICS has invented a device. The engineer that invented it, his name is Ken. He's very famous. He's done over 300 peer-reviewed articles on medicine, and he's helped NASA, Manned Spacecraft Center, figure out why astronauts lose bone density when they're in weightlessness. So he's a pretty sharp guy, and he found that there are two pumps in the body, not one. We all think it's just the heart. No, there are two. There's the heart, and there's also a muscle in the back of your lower leg, and it pumps blood from your feet back to the heart, and helps the heart. And when that muscle is exercised, the lower leg muscle, then you get better blood flow in the brain, and you don't have cognitive decline. And in fact, if you have cognitive decline, it brings you back to normal. So normal people have a well-exercised muscle in the lower leg, because they're walking and doing whatever, and they don't have cognitive decline. And people who sit at a desk all day and don't exercise that muscle, they have cognitive decline. But he developed a machine, and it's electromagnetic, and it's patented, and we made it, and it works, and it's been tested, and in 6 months people have been brought back from cognitive decline back to normal. So it's a big deal. And I'm helping this company. What we're doing is, right now you can buy the machine, but we're not selling it, okay? Because we're going a little bit higher. we're making it a medical device. It's external, fits under your feet, but we want the insurance companies to be able to pay for the machine for older people that don't have any money. And in order to do that, we have to meet the insurance company specs for a machine that is kind of, patient-proof. In other words, we need a machine that is waterproof and can be dropped on the floor and all kinds of things. And so we're going to improve the machine. It works, but it makes, it needs to be brought up to insurance company grade, and then the insurance companies will pay for it. So SONOSTICS is a great company, and I'm helping them raise more money. And like Peter Zion said, he says that the most important thing we could do is bring cognitive health to older people. That will help the American economy more than any one thing. He just said that. And where did he say it? He said it on Peter Diamante's website called Moonshot, right? And Peter Diamantes is a medical doctor, and he, like Ken, both went to MIT, and they're also are contemporaries of Ray Kurzweil, who also went to MIT. So this sonostics.com, you might want to look at it. This is an investment that anybody could be proud of, to bring cognitive health to older people and basically save the American economy. That's what it will do. Can you believe that? 70 million more workers that we don't have right now, because we're paying for them. Actually, the health department's paying $26,000 per patient per year to treat people with cognitive problems, right? So it would remove that expense of the health authorities, and also bring more workers to the American workforce that can continue working until they're in their 70s and 80s, right? Because they don't have cognitive decline. So this is a big deal. So I'm very proud of my sponsor, and if you can help with that, that would be wonderful too. So that's what this is all about. It's all about doing interesting things and making life better for people. So, and doing investments that one can be proud of, help humanity worldwide. Okay, and if you hear all this noise, I'm in Paris, and Paris is getting ready for the Olympics, so this is why you're hearing all this stuff. But I'm going to go dance tango across the street, and I'm going to drink this beer to do it, so please buy me a beer, okay? And you've got the website for Buy Me a Coffee, and it's, you can click on that and buy Derek a beer. And it says you want to buy Derek a beer or coffee, buy me a beer. And if you want to donate to this, if you like information I'm giving here, support the channel. Give me a little money, because I'm traveling around the world doing this in coffee shops and beer halls, and it's fun, but it costs money, and I'm traveling also. Okay, so this is actually the end of episode 33, and you will see end tags that will come up, and you click on those, and that can take you to other podcasts that I'm doing. I've done 33. This is the 33rd one, and the podcast you can see wherever it says EP, like Easy Paul. EP means episode. So this is at the end of episode 33, and if you click on the end tags up here, you can go to other episodes I've done. And if you see a picture of me with some people, the girl on the left is the head of Ukraine Society at Oxford. Girl on the right is from Romania, and we dance tango, and they're friends of mine, and I'm on the bottom there. Click on that, and you get to subscribe to this YouTube. And all subscription does, it's free. It just notifies you when I make a new post. So you can click on that tag also. Okay, so finally, this is the end of episode 33. Finally. Talk to you in the next episode of this podcast. Thank you. Bye-bye.